Sure.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Alex, for coming on this YouTube here. You know, been hearing a lot of good things about Ergo.
My pleasure, Cliff, and
Okay.
hello, everyone
Yeah,
witnessing it online.
excellent. Yeah, so not a lot of people have heard about you. Of course, you're IOHK, Chainlink, NXT, and now you're doing Ergo. So could you introduce yourself a little bit there?
Yeah, so I'm in the space since 2011, right? But back in 2011, 2012, it wasn't possible to pay bills, right? Doing something with cryptocurrencies. Right, so then I started to do development on top of Bitcoin and then other cryptocurrencies since 2013. Right, and in 2014, 15, I used to be co-developer of NXT cryptocurrency. Well, the first pure proof of stake cryptocurrency. Right, and that was the place, the community where I met Charles Hoskinson, for example, as well as many other folks I worked with after. And still working with many of them, actually. So now some old folks from NXT community are in Ergo community as well, right?
Good.
And yeah, back in NXT days, we established also a startup called smartcontract.com. Right, and yeah, then it was pivoted into Chainlink, now pretty well known, I guess, right, in 2017, yeah. Right? But I left in late 2015, right? And it was established around mid 2014. And yeah, so I left and I was pretty sure that the project is pretty dead, right, at the moment. So it was a surprise for me to see it's pivotal and success, right? Okay, but that's another story. Yeah, then from late 2015, I worked with Charles Hoskinson. So even before IOHK, we started to work together. Right, so Charles supported ScoreX framework, which was used for Ergo and some other blockchains. So this is some framework to build blockchains. And yeah, in regards with IOHK, I was in top 5 first guys in the company chronologically, I believe. Okay, yeah, so I joined in early 2016, like February maybe. So I worked in R&D department there. So I made some papers, prototypes and so on. And so in late 2016, me and yeah, a few other guys came into ideas behind Ergo, right? So initially it was about compilation of different ideas from our papers, from papers of our colleagues, and from papers outside, right? Because a good paper is a good paper after all. It doesn't matter who's authored it after all. And yeah, so we started to do some development, and yeah, then actually yeah, I pretty much left active involvement in IOHK in 2017, and around May or June 2017, when Ergo was announced publicly. Right, so first testnet was launched in late 2017, and mainnet was launched on July 1st, 2019. Right, so it's kind of a long story to the moment. Which is still in progress, right? So yeah, mainnet is alive for like 15 months now, right? Without serious incidents, happily. So yeah, a lot of work done after the mainnet launch, and a lot of work still needed. But yeah, somehow we are developing the clients, the protocol, the ecosystem, documentation, and so on. So yeah, a lot of stuff we are working on.
Yeah,
still.
Yeah, it's great because you know, of course, I heard about it through Justin, and you know, there's no hype or anything. There's no marketing. It's just like grassroots guys. It's Moscow. It's all around the world, isn't it? Like Rob picked it up also.
Yeah, so yeah, it's purely grass roots movement after all, right? So yeah, in regards with marketing, so yeah, I mean only community marketing made, right? Almost.
Right.
Right, so no paid marketing, no ICO, no VC,
No
no market
pre-mine.
making, no pre-mine, right? But yeah, still we have currently around a dozen of exchanges, right? And yeah, more than half of them listed us for free totally.
Excellent.
Right, happily. And yeah, some listed us for some rewards, right, to exchange users. So the most recent listing is Gate.io, which is the first tier 1 exchange listed Ergo. So hopefully others will follow. And so yeah, things are going quite well, right, for community-based projects in 2020, because you know, now there are a lot of projects raised like hundreds of millions sometimes.
Oh
Right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we are competing with them, and yeah, without anything basically. But yeah, we are doing pretty well. I need to say.
Yeah, it's I think it's market cap of like 16 million, and it's just no commercials. You know, it's excellent.
Yeah, but yeah, we can do better for sure. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I mean, currently a lot of buzz in the community, right? Groups are very
Yep.
active in Telegram, and Discord server is also pretty much active. So development is going on pretty well. And yeah, ecosystem is growing, and yeah, I think it will be market appreciation for that after all.
Right.
I mean, I don't see any reason why this appreciation will not come.
Right. Of course. Even Emurgo picked you guys up. And, you know, Rob and Sebastian have said good things about it too. So, you know, tight code, good dev team. You've got like what about 10 devs or something? And
yeah, so it's community-based development, right? So hard to say about exact numbers, because there are some anonymous developers, there are some developers who are active but not all the time, right? So they come, they go, they come, they go. But yeah, about yeah, developers contributing regularly. So yeah, it's about 10 to 15, I guess.
yeah. Yeah, excellent,
And
excellent.
yeah, and yeah, well, again, some guys are coming, contributing something like tipping server for Telegram, right? Then
Oh
go,
yeah,
then
yeah.
maybe coming again and doing something more, right? So yeah, I mean, it's community development after all, but yeah, there is some core which is about me, right? And some other guys who are working all the time, right? And but
Excellent.
yeah, in general, I think currently we have like 10 to 15 regular contributors, and yeah, also some number of irregular ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. And you know, Charles has said a lot of good things about it too. He's and from what I gather, of course, this is kind of like a Litecoin where they try things first and then maybe they'll put it on Bitcoin, right? Because you guys have just about fixed a bunch of things that were on the list, right? I mean, there's like an Oracle, a DEX, atomic swaps. You know, you guys have done a lot, even like ZK.
Some stuff, yeah. So yeah, I mean, right. So yeah, a lot of experimental things done for the first time in the space in Ergo. So to continue, stateless clients, for example, right? So they are on the paper since 2016, right? So it was our paper, by the way, right? Then there are some, there were some works from other guys. Right, but still, I believe our solution is very much competitive, right? And maybe one of the best solutions we can do with standard crypto, let's say, right? So no moon crypto in Ergo. I mean, so we are experimental, but on the other side, we are very solid also. So we are not using ZK snarks, moon crypto, right? Some assumptions which can be not reliable and so on. Right, so stateless clients, also storage rent, right? So Ethereum community, for example, is discussing it for years, but yeah, in Ergo, it's since day one. Yeah, some more things. So NiPoPow support, so support for ultra efficient SPV clients done in the Ergo protocol, maybe for the second time in the space, right? And yeah, we already passed, by the way, #1 in terms of market appreciation. Yeah. So there was some other experiments, but yeah, I mean, so Ergo's idea was not just about experimenting, right, but to have some sound design, right? So not all the new ideas are going well altogether, right? So we need to find a proper mix. So that was idea from 2016, so the very initial idea. So let's do experiments, but only those experiments which are well sounding altogether, right? So yeah. So and yeah, on the other side, we also very conservative, right? So no moon crypto, so very well known crypto based on known assumptions, and yeah, also, well, we are going from the first principles of Bitcoin after all, right? So UTXO, transactional model and so on. So yeah, so it's quite quite maybe unique approach, right, in the space. So when you are doing a lot of experiments, but also you are trying to be very solid.
At
the same time.
Of course, yeah. No, I think you guys have taken like the best and most solid ideas, you know, UTXO and like contractual money, programmable money, and you know, it seems like you guys are leapfrogging some of the other teams, maybe because you're a small team, right?
Yeah. So yeah, so you know, I used to be a developer in NXT, for example, right, which is about pure proof of stake, right? So yeah, first generation proof of stake, right? So not like Ouroboros, for example, Algorand. But yeah, it also was about accounts, right? So some yeah, simplified approach used in Ethereum, let's say, right? So most of yeah, modern cryptocurrencies, but yeah, so I witnessed limitations, right, of NXT, and that's why UTXO model was chosen. So yeah, we made like one step back, right, to make 2 steps ahead then.
Right.
That.
Right.
Yeah, so yeah, there are a lot of pros of the UTXO model, and yeah, it's also better for scalability solutions, right? And better for privacy also. So when you have one-time objects, so yeah, it's possible to know and to formalize privacy leaks, right? And with persistent accounts, not so really.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. And also one of the other things versus the account based in UTXO, you can run parallel contracts. Is that correct?
So it is possible to parallelize transactions processing, right?
Okay.
Yeah, unlike accounts which can do significant performance boost, right, of the
Okay.
protocol clients, especially in coming years, because yeah, we have more and more cores in our CPUs, right? So then, yeah,
Okay.
with parallelization, it will be significant performance boost. But yeah, about parallelization of contracts. So, you know, the whole concept is becoming very different. So I'm still thinking about that, right? So what does it mean philosophically when you go from persistent accounts, right, to one-time entities, which are also smart entities, unlike Bitcoin UTXOs. Right, so it's maybe not about smart contracts exactly, right, but kind of protocols, right, or sub protocols. So you have
Okay.
the Ergo protocol, right, and inside it you have some protocols, for example, DEX protocol, right? So it's
Right.
not a single contract, unlike Ethereum. So you have a lot of UTXOs, right, around, and they can interact, right, in some cases.
Okay.
In some cases not, and this is kind of open space, right, without the single entity, which is a smart contract. Right, so this is a very new model, right? So still we are trying to understand its possibilities, but it seems, yeah, we can do pretty much like everything Ethereum is doing, right? But also in very different ways, right? And still, yeah, it's very interesting to think about it, and there are a lot of open questions, right? But yeah, that's how the term contractual money was born. So you actually have some monies, right, in the Ergo blockchain. So Ergo native token, and yeah, also custom tokens, right, which can be easily issued on top of the Ergo blockchain. But then you have some ERGs and tokens which are free, right? So you can just send them from one wallet to another. And other UTXOs, so one-time coins, right? So one-time banknotes, they are bound to certain contracts, right? So they become contractual money, well, temporarily or permanently different in properties, right? From the ordinary money, right? So from free ERGs, you can send from one wallet to another. So for example, you can require from your money, right, to be exchangeable, right, for some period of time with some tokens, right? You can put some buyback guarantees there, right, if you are selling tokens, for example. So yeah, you can do a lot of economic interactions, so some DEX protocols, right? So it's not about smart contracts, it's about the whole protocols, exchange protocols. And so on. So even Mixer, right, is about some kind of contract, which is also pretty unique, right? So that's basically when I put some money, right, on the blockchain, right? So yeah, like I put my money on the blockchain, right? and I say, I mean, whoever can take this money, right? And yeah. Take it, but then please also create new banknotes and also another banknote of the same nominal, right? And then those two banknotes are indistinguishable, right, from outside. I mean, which banknote is belong to whom. But really, one banknote is belong to me, and one banknote is belong to you, for example, right?
Right.
But yeah, so this is how the mixer works. But yeah, from outside, it's not known, right, which banknote belong to whom. And yeah, also this process is non-interactive. So I just put this banknote on the blockchain, right? So unlike Bitcoin mixers, which are always problematic because they require for some trusted coordinator, right? Which is in many cases also take funds in custody, and then some legal issues there, right? And so on. So here you are interacting with the blockchain only. So yeah, there is no need for trusted coordinator.
Interesting.
There is no need for custody. So yeah, you are just creating kind of yeah, contractual money with the mixing contract.
Yeah, that's. I think that's pretty far ahead, right? Yeah. I think some other people are finding out there's other problems. You know, some. You know, like in the U.S. or something, the mixer groups got busted or something. But
yeah, but I mean, so here you are not using any service, right?
Right.
I mean, unlike mixers,
exactly.
because
right.
yeah, because of that, I actually think that mixer is not maybe an appropriate term, right? So we have discussions in the community because mixer is usually some trusted service, right?
Right.
As it's done in Bitcoin. So in case of Ergo, this is kind of protocol, right? So you just run some light client for this protocol, right? So then yeah, you are yeah, you put your liquidity into the pools, right? So you are restoring fungibility of your coins by yeah, doing mixing in this pool, right? But it's working very differently, right? So it's not about any trusted service. So it's about yeah, completely different level, right, of how things are done. Yeah, also very different from Monero and Zcash, for example. So Ergo is not privacy coin, right? So so restoring fungibility is done on application level, right?
Okay.
But it's not requiring for any trusted service. So it's very new approach. So I'm not so sure about well legal side of things. So yeah, I mean that's a question not for me because I am developer.
All right. Well, but this is all in layer 1, or is there the layer 2 hasn't been really the layer 2 is there a layer 2 right now? It's for the Oracle pools or stable coins.
You mean some of chain solutions, right? So yeah, not quite, because currently well L1 is not busy, right? So then yeah, current plan is first we are doing L0 optimizations actually even now, so some networking layer, right? Then L1, and I think we can do like 20 or 30x here, right, on these layers. But then when blockchain is busy, we can do L2. So why there is no need to be in rush here?
Right.
You know, because L2 solutions are pretty much dependent on applications profile, right? So applications profile is not known yet. So yeah, first maybe it's better to get some picture, right? So which applications are popular on top of Ergo blockchain, and then do L2 solutions for those applications. Exactly. Right. But we did some investigation, so it seems Ergo is yeah, pretty much friendly to Lightning Network, Rainbow Network, and yeah, Hydra, right, from Cardano guys, and so on. So yeah, some state channel solutions maybe can be translated into the UTXO model, some state channel solutions from Ethereum, for example. So yeah, potentially, yeah, a lot of solutions are supported, but yeah, again, it depends on how blockchain will be used, right? Which solutions are needed.
I see, yeah. Yeah, it's very interesting because also, you know, you're telling me about the nodes. You've got nodes on mobiles, Raspberry Pis, and stuff like that.
Yeah, so currently, yeah, Raspberry Pis, because we have support for stateless clients, right? When you can validate blocks without holding the UTXO set, right? And this option is very good in regards with performance and also not consuming memory, right? So random access memory, which is pretty expensive and yeah, very limited on Raspberry Pis. So we have then Ergo full nodes here running on Raspberry Pis with just 1 gig of RAM. Right, and yeah, it's even now, right, and a lot of optimizations coming. Then yeah, hopefully we can do even better, right? And in regards with mobile, so Ergo has support for NiPoPow, so non-interactive proof of works, which are allowing to do some ultra efficient SPV clients. And yeah, so we have some clients is coming made by external teams. So Cipra Wallet, they're already supporting Bitcoin, and yeah, will support Ergo also with atomic swaps, NiPoPow clients, and enhanced privacy and so on, right? And yeah, maybe Ergo node will get NiPoPow support also. Then it will be possible to have full node security guarantees, right? And also bootstrapping within a few minutes.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you don't have to wait.
Yeah, so yeah, it would be very cool. So then it will be possible to have some wallet like Stateless, right? But also with bootstrapping in minutes, for example.
Yeah. No, that's very clever because yeah, you don't need the whole chain, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. What about the oracles, stable coins, stuff like that?
All right. So yeah, I can start with history again, right? So when we started Ergo, so it was 2016, 2017, right? So it was time when people tried to put everything on the blockchain, right? Like diplomas, documents, and so on, right? And yeah, we said very clearly that you know, blockchain is not very efficient as data structure, right? And yeah, you need to store data, replicate it across thousands of machines around the globe, right? So you need to pay for that, and then yeah, only financial applications make sense, right? So we then started to be focused on DeFi long time before the term was coined, right? So we made a lot of examples back in 2017, 18 even, right? And yeah, into 2020, right? And yeah, 2019. So we started to do even more complex contracts, example contracts like bonds, right, DEXes and so on. And yeah, so we also started to do some applications with the help of Emurgo, right? So Emurgo made the Oracle Pools protocol, which is kind of consensus on-chain protocol, right, for data delivered on the blockchain. And yeah, Oracle's currently is in the heart of DeFi, right? So in most of DeFi applications, they're very much needed, right? And so with this solution, which is quite superior to Chainlink oracles, for example, in some regards. So the next step, yeah, is to do stablecoin, right? So currently, Emurgo mostly is working on that, and yeah, I can't say any estimations, right? But yeah, pretty soon you guys will see something.
Excellent, excellent. Because then that's like payment gateways are going to be huge too, right?
Yeah, so another big topic now is interoperability, right? So
Right.
when you have stablecoin, oracles, and financial applications, you also need to project liquidity, right, from outside
Right.
into the Ergo blockchain and vice versa. Then, yeah, some gateways are needed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we are going to announce some partnership in regards with that on Monday.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, so we are doing this on Friday.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Excellent.
for listeners. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So now Friday, and yeah, on Monday we will announce something.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah. Very, very interesting. So the other thing that I found very interesting, you know the AVL trees, and basically now you've found a way to cut down on the bloat that Ethereum has, and their problem. But can you briefly talk about that and how that would just make the chain faster?
Oh yeah, so this is about stateless clients exactly, right? So
Okay.
those trees are built up on top of UTXO sets, right? So current state of the system, right? So which one-time coins we have now in active state, right? So which coins are spendable now. So on top of that, we are building some data structure and storing only a compact hash in the block header, right? And then, you know, only miners potentially do need to store this UTXO set in full. Right, but other full nodes can just ask for proofs of this UTXO set transformation. So to get proofs for these three transformations, right, from miners, check them, then well, throw those proofs or just store them on the hard disk. And because of that, so the full nodes are not using memory, right? So there is no active state which you need to put in memory, right? So you avoid spam attacks, right? And so on, right? So then, yeah, it's quite superior to what Ethereum has, right? So there are a lot of talks in Ethereum community about doing stateless clients in this way. So what I'm talking about, they call it partially stateless clients, right? So miners still do need to store the state in full. So there are fully stateless clients. We have a paper on that, but yeah, such solutions are pretty specific usually in regards with user experience and so on, right? So our solution, yeah, is quite practical, good, right? And also, yeah, provides possibility to catch up with blockchain, even if it's very much bloated, right? So with preserving full node security guarantees, right? So still you can have full node security guarantees like in Bitcoin, right? But without holding this state and processing all the blocks against it. So still you can download all the blocks, right? But you are throwing them away after checking, right? And you are storing only a compact hash, right? So just 32 bytes instead of gigabytes or tens of gigabytes.
Yeah, incredible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. But,
yeah,
it sounds like you're leapfrogging. All these ideas were around 2018, and it sounds like you're the only person doing them. You know.
Yeah, but actually, yeah. So we started first, right? So those AVL plus trees were started back in 2016, right? So we presented the work back in 2016. But you know, yeah, it also was presented at Financial Cryptography 2017, right? And Vitalik was there, and. Yeah, still they haven't implemented anything, right? So,
Yeah.
But I understand. Yeah, so there are a lot of design complexities in Ethereum, right? So you cannot do such things easily,
Yeah.
right? So, better to start from scratch, and yeah, better with UTXO model.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I did a demo, I guess, right around when the NFTs came through, the crypto kitties, right?
Yeah.
And while I was doing that, the whole thing crashed. It was my Ether wallet or something like that, and you know, it just wasn't a good demonstration, you know. But it sounds like you've taken all of those problems, thought them out very clearly, right? And actually, you've got some NFTs coming through too, right?
Yeah, actually, yeah, there is a developer in our community, anonymous developer,
Oh,
who recently launched Ergo Auctions House, right? And yeah, there is a first auction happening right now,
okay.
which is about yeah, a collectible token made by this anonymous developer. So it's kind of charity auction,
Mm.
right, to support the developer. And also, yeah, it's the first yeah, so token of this kind. This is the singleton token, right? So there is only one token in the system. And
Okay.
yeah, also it has a special ID. So there is a word Ergo encoded in the identifier of this token by doing kind of work, right? So
Okay.
our token ID, right, yeah, and so on. But yeah, yeah, this is kind of collectible token, right? Well, truly digital, but there are some guys currently in the community, well, thinking about doing something with digital art, right? So yeah, NFTs with
Right.
arts
Right.
connected. And
Right.
yeah, we also can do something like crypto kitties, even maybe. I mean,
Right. Right.
it's doable,
Right.
but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
makes
the
sense.
application is for like real estate or something else, you know.
Yeah, yeah, or digital art, right, or physical arts, yeah, real
Physical, yeah,
estate,
something.
yeah, yeah, some ownership, right? But yeah, I mean, so here
Right.
you
Right. Right.
also need to have some legal wrapping, right? So still, I mean, if there is
Right.
some
Right.
token on the blockchain, I mean, uh, there is something to bound this token to ownership rights, right? So this is about legal stuff to be done in the real world, right? So
Right. Right.
yeah,
Right.
but if we are talking about truly digital world, then yeah, everything is possible already.
Yeah. 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 That's incredible. So you know, it's you guys got put on the Yoroi wallet also, right? So this is like also another big step. You know, Emurgo has been pretty conservative, and but you know, seeing those guys take on Ergo is, I think, you know, it's a good move. You know.
Yeah, yeah, I think Emurgo is, you are right, very conservative,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
about their choices.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we got into Yoroi, yeah, currently only into the browser extensions, but Yoroi mobile support is also coming, right?
Right. Right.
And yeah, so in the future, Yoroi will also be a kind of like a metamask for Ergo,
Right.
right,
Okay. Okay.
applications.
I see.
Because yeah, for Ethereum, MetaMask was a very critical factor of success, right? So when
Mm-hmm.
you have some light wallet where it's easy to store funds, but then yeah, it's also possible request from outside, right, from external applications. Then yeah, it's yeah, about the ecosystem of such applications, right,
Mm-hmm.
growing rapidly. Right. So yeah. So Yoroi already has specification for this D-app bridge. It's called, right.
Mm-hmm.
So some
Mm-hmm.
signing protocol for external applications. And yeah, I'm not so sure about deadlines here, but also stablecoin will be there, I guess, in Yoroi wallet. So you will have support for stablecoin, and before hopefully tokens also will be supported, custom tokens. So currently, Yoroi wallet is supporting them, right? So not losing them. So if you are sending some custom token, not ERGs to Yoroi wallet, right? So they will not be lost, right? So accidentally sent to outside. But Yoroi currently is not showing them, right? So this support is also coming in the user interface. Okay. And then, yeah, so tokens, stable coin, signing protocol. So a lot of plans here.
Yeah, yeah, actually. Yeah. That's a lot of work. How many lines of code are you talking about? Like for Ergo is like.
Oh, you mean for Yoroi wallet and for all these protocols, right? And so.
Yeah, for Ergo in general.
Oh, so Ergo clients, well, in general, currently, yeah. So it's spreads across multiple repositories, but in general, yeah, with testing codes, I believe it's about 100 or 120, let's say, 1,000 lines of code, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so your part is also yeah, about thousands, right? The signing protocols and so on. Yeah, so it's yeah, quite big amounts of work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have some specification draft, right, for Ergo protocol, which is already about 30 or 40 pages, right? And yeah, still it's in very early stage. So yeah, finally it will be about 100 pages maybe. Yeah, so there is also a specification for Sigma layer, so for our contractual layer, which is also about 50 pages currently, right? So it can be 100. Also easily when fully done.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I mean, this is a huge amount of work actually, and yeah, that was a particular reason for the name, right? So Ergo means work in Greek.
Yeah.
Right, so.
Well, you said 100,000 lines of code for just the Ergo platform.
For the Ergo protocol, but yeah, I'm talking about all the parts. So this AVL plus trees,
okay.
networking layer, contractual layer, and tests.
Yeah.
We have a lot of tests, like thousands of them, right? To check everything possible to check. Also wallets, which is inbuilt into the clients. Right, so yeah, easily 100,000 or maybe even more. Yeah.
So a lot of work. Oh my god.
yeah.
So also you chose Scala though, right? So can you tell me why you chose Scala as opposed to other languages?
Oh, I don't know. I came to Scala after working for NXT, right? So its client was in Java, right? So it was about 40,000 lines of code.
Okay.
Right, and it was a simpler kind of follow-up, maybe, let's say, pure proof of stake cryptocurrency, which is now forgotten. It was called Quora, Qora. Yeah, and it was about 24K lines of code, right? So my initial idea was how compact it could be if been rewritten into Scala from Java. So it was also in Java. So I made rewrite, and it was about just 6K, right? And
Oh,
on
wow.
the way, I found like 2 critical vulnerabilities in Cora code.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
but it was abandoned, so it wasn't possible to report even, right? It was
Mm-hmm.
already abandoned. Yeah, so Scala is much more compact, right, than Java, right? So then this Cora rewrite was transformed somehow into the ScoreX framework by rewriting all the things like 2 times.
Yeah.
And then yeah, on top of ScoreX, yeah, we made Ergo, right? And yeah, so this is quite long story, but to say in short, so in the first place, you have much more compact code than in Java, for example, right? And in comparison with C++, you don't have different vulnerabilities which are coming from the need of memory management, right? So most of
Right.
vulnerabilities in cryptographic frameworks even for C++ are about memory management, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's very messy thing. Even yeah, in regards with Bitcoin Core, so in early years, I believe there were some vulnerabilities in regards
Mm-hmm.
with memory management. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I can check.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's usually the very messy thing. So if you have automated memory management, so
Right.
that's about safer code in the first place.
Right. Right. But definitely like less code, less bugs, right?
Yeah, after all, yeah. So less code, less bugs. Yeah. So I'm always fond of removing, codes if yeah, it's about preserving functionality.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm always happy to remove some code actually.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah. Yeah. And so the contractual language, it's Ergoscript. It's kind of like a subset of Scala then.
Yeah, so actually there are like 3 languages already, right? So there is a
Okay.
low-level language called
Okay.
Ergo 3,
Okay.
right? Which is not for end users.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the language for the lowest level. So language which is to be interpreted and
Mm-hmm.
programs to be included into the blockchain, right? And yeah, this language is super simple. So actually it's just typed abstract syntax tree, right? So the simplest form and also quite compact, right? Because on the blockchain level, L1, we need for the most compact representation, right? So that's why I'm not fond of Ethereum approach, right? So to have some low-level virtual machine with quite big programs you need to put on the blockchain. Right,
Mm-hmm.
so our approach is different. So yeah, abstract syntax tree, which is called Ergo tree. And then there are already kind of 2 languages we have, but the most popular is Ergoscript,
Mm-hmm.
which is yeah, pretty much like a very tiny subset of Scala language,
Mm-hmm.
right? But yeah, it's not a problem, I believe, to get into it very quickly for Java developers also, maybe
Excellent.
for C++ even. And yeah, so there is also Ergo Scala approach when you are just writing programs in Scala directly, so you can use Scala development tools and so on, right? And yeah, then you are getting still the Ergo tree after
Mm-hmm.
compiling, right? Like you are doing with Ergoscript. But yeah, so for Ergo Scala, unfortunately, there is no documentation and there is only like 1 or 2 developers capable to use it at the moment
Yeah. Yeah.
because of no documentation. So Ergoscript is much better. So we have some tutorials. We have the first video tutorial made by Robert Kornatsky. So I recommend it. So yeah, we have Ergoscript by example repository. So I will do another video in coming
Excellent.
days.
Excellent.
So yeah, Ergoscript is much better covered and
Yeah.
explained.
Yeah. I like that Scasties, the site where you can tinker. Actually, it's kind of like Jupyter Notebook for
Yeah, so it's kind of like playgrounds where you can write contracts in Ergoscript, compile them, and yeah, do some simulations on top of simulated blockchain, right? So some mock chain.
Right.
So yeah, and you can do this just in your browser. So
Right.
there is no need to install anything. So you can
Yeah.
just do this while traveling, right? So getting to your work, right? So just with a laptop or even something like a pet device, right? Like iPad or Android pet.
Right.
Yeah, so this Ergo playgrounds based on Scasties is, I believe, a very good way to get into
Yeah.
Ergo contracts with
Yeah.
Ergoscript.
Yeah. So where, how about to find more information, just to, you know, of course I saw the Robert's talk. I think he had a few links. Are there any other places are there any other Scala references or a list of, you know,
Contracts.
yeah.
Yeah, so actually there is a repository. Yeah,
Okay.
I guess you can put a link under the video. It's called Awesome Ergo,
Okay.
right? So this is intended to be like one-stop, right, to get into everything about Ergo, right? So this is about links to Ergo wallets, exchanges, tutorials, development
Excellent.
tools,
Yeah. Excellent.
yeah, the clients, and yeah, so on. Yeah, so because we have a lot of information, but it's spread around, right? So we have tutorials
Right.
how to run a node on Windows, for example, how to mine, right?
Right.
Because this is proof of work cryptocurrency, mineable after all. We have
Right.
some pools, we have tutorials, we have wallets, we have applications like mixers, Ergo auctions house, ZK treasury, Oracle pools, right, and so on, so on. So yeah, I mean, we are getting a pretty diverse ecosystem, right? And as development is done in decentralized way, right? So it's spread around, sometimes chaotically. So we need for some one-stop. So currently, I think Awesome Ergo is the best place to start.
Awesome. Yeah.
And,
Okay. Good. Yeah.
Yeah. Please put a link under the
I'll
video.
do that definitely, because you know, the hardest thing when people, you know, like a project and see, you know, oh, this really has some potential, the documentation isn't there, and then people are just, it's kind of like 1980s where, you know, you're trying to learn a language and you only have books and, you know, you can't find them. You know.
Yeah. Or you come to some guy who has BBS, right? And
Yeah, right.
you ask him to download documentation for language, right? And
Right.
then pre-print it on a matrix printer and so on. Yeah, I mean, I lived through it in 90s, right? So like
Yeah.
early 90s. So yeah, I pretty
Right.
much know how problematic was it. And yeah, I mean, now we can do much better, right?
Yeah.
Because we have internet and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so so please put this link under the video, and yeah, this is the
Definitely.
best
Yes.
place to start.
Definitely.
And
I think
yeah, unfortunately, it's under promoted, I believe. So yeah, we need to better promote such one-stop solutions.
right. I think a lot of people will be interested though. They're looking for the information, you know. So yeah, is there any other Ergo news that you'd like to just hit real quick? I know we got listed on the exchanges,
Yeah.
Gate.io. There's a new one, right? BTC something.
Yeah, so there is a newer exchange, btcnext.io, which
Okay.
is small. It has some
Okay.
success in Japan, as far as I know.
Oh, okay.
Maybe, yeah, still local. But yeah, they listed us totally for free.
Excellent.
Right, so for Gate.io, we made,
Uh-huh.
we provided some rewards to voters, right? So it was some how's it called, listing quote, right? Single day
Uh-huh.
listing quote, and we did reward Ergo Foundation did reward voters.
Excellent.
Right, so BTCnext.io is unconditionally free, was unconditionally free listing. Right, and we now have a pretty dense flow of announcements, right? So today we are going to announce a new wallet, a desktop wallet called Ergo Wallet, right? Which is supporting ERGs and tokens, right? So yeah, it will be in the same list, Awesome Ergo, right? I will do it tonight.
Excellent.
Announcement is coming.
Excellent.
And so next Monday, a new partnership and so on. So yeah, a lot of things going on.
Excellent. Yeah, it's very good to hear. I mean, I haven't seen you in like a year or so, but I think people are starting to catch on that, you know, there are some good devs, tight code, good communities out there.
Yeah, and please come to our channels, right? So I believe our community, you know, I observed many communities over many years I'm in the space, right?
Yeah.
So I believe currently our community is pretty awesome, right? Yeah. And yeah, our channels are very warm, right? And also good, right? So not much shit talking there, right? So yeah, I mean, as it happens often, right, in the early days, right? So yeah, community is truly awesome here.
Yeah. Well, you've got a lot of support from Hong Kong, of course.
Yeah, that's good. And yeah, I mean, Hong Kong, I believe, maybe is number one in regards with number of presentations. So there were 2 presentations made there, right?
Yeah.
So one by Katena and another by me, right? Hopefully I will get back to Hong Kong just when the virus will allow for that, right?
Because maybe next year.
Hopefully, I mean, it seems, I mean, we can plan anything, right? But after all, we are now well controlled by a small virus, right? So, I mean, in regards with traveling at least. So hard to predict anything, right?
Yeah. Excellent. Is there anything you want to add?
Well, I think, I can easily talk with you, for another hour or 2, right? Because it's a great pleasure for me.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
But I mean, listeners can get lost, so yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll probably do some, you know, other talks just to, you know, break things down. And I know this was kind of a little bit of a mid-level talk for maybe the Cardano and Bitcoin guys and maybe some of the Ethereum guys, but
yeah, I mean, so maybe next time we can grab some whiskey, right? And have like virtual bar, right? And talking about philosophical aspects of cryptocurrencies for like 4 hours, right?
Of course.
But yeah, next time, all right.
Yeah, excellent.
So this time, everything I want to add. So thank you a lot, guys, who are supporting us and who are not supporting us. So please come to the community and please support it. And I mean, a lot of things been delivered, right? But still a lot of things can get done. Right, and I think our community is maybe very warm, right, and one of the best at the moment. So come here for crypto enlightenment.
Excellent.
We are still hope for it, right, and we are still working on it on the crypto enlightenment. That's it.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Alex.
Thank you, Cliff.
All right. I'll talk to you later. All right. Bye now.
Bye.